Hello everyone, welcome to What's Crafting Wednesday. Lisa here. I hope everyone had a great week. I hope you had a lot of time to craft. So today we will also be using the A Touch of Ink stamp set like last week, but we're going to step it up a notch. Last week we did some simple stamping with just stamps, ink, paper, and a little cheating with a couple of enamel dot embellishments. So let's start first by doing the drawing for our 2 note cards from last week. Put all of the tickets in my trusty little gold bag. A lot of comments last week. I guess everybody likes simple stamping. Okay. Shake them up good. Okay, let's see who we have here. And we have Shani. Well, congratulations, Shani. Okay, everyone. So, here is our note cards from last week. And today, it is more than just stamps, ink, paper. It is the same stamping layout, but rather than note cards, I'm using cardstock today. I've added some DSP and dimensionals, punches, and some baker's twine. So let's get started. I'll leave those there so that we can see the difference as we go along. And again, it is the Touch of Ink stamp set, which is a free celebration stamp set through February 28th. And I also use the Paper Blooms DSP, which is another free celebration choice. Well, let me get my packet out here. I have Misty Moonlight, isn't it? Yes, it's Misty Moonlight cardstock cut at 5.5 by 8.5, and it will get scored here at 4.25. And then I have a piece of basic white cardstock for the inside, and this is cut at the usual 5.25 by 4. So I'll put that aside for now. And then for the front of the card, the DSP I cut at 5 by 3.75, so there was enough space to angle it on the card. And the white for stamping is cut at 4.75 by 3.5. And then I have an envelope, and I have some scrap basic white for stamping and some scrap Misty Moonlight for punching. And a piece of baker's twine, and I think this, I don't remember which set this is from. It's in the annual catalog, and it's a combo pack. There is the baker's twine and 2 ribbons, and at the moment the name of the ribbon combo pack escapes me. And we will also be using the 2020 to 2022 in color enamel dots. So let's get started. Using the same colors that we used last week for stamping. So this is the in color Just Jade. And again, like last week, I'm just stamping this coming up And again, I'm using the Magenta Madness. I went with all the same colors from last week. So the card basically would be the same, just in a little stepped up version. Because last week we did some simple stamping, and this week we're doing a little more advanced, a little more casual to avid stamping. And then for the center of the hummingbird, we'll use the same colors. Magenta Madness, the Misty Moonlight, and Bumblebee. And I'm doing it just like last week with the sponge daubers and adding the color to the stamp so we can get the multicolor on here. And the more ink that you put on, the brighter the coloring will be when you stamp. If you just dab a little bit of the ink on, it won't be as vibrant. So I'm trying to put a little more on. And then just going over into the yellow a little bit with it. And then just a little on the bottom of the hummingbird as well. And last week I had huffed on the stamp and I didn't realize someone had asked a question about the huffing, and that is just to moisten up the ink again, because when you use markers or the sponging, it takes longer than if you're just inking the stamp. So that's just to give a little more moisture to the stamp again. So you just breathe on it a little bit, kind of like reconstituting. Okay. And then we'll stamp the sentiment on the scrap paper I have here. I did change the sentiment this week. Last week was hello friend. No, last week was thank you so much. And this week I chose hello friend. And I'm using the double oval punch. This is new. It's in the mini catalog. It comes, you can purchase this by itself, and it also comes bundled with a stamp set. So it's nice, you can punch out the scalloped oval and then the sentiment. Should have used a longer strip of paper so I could grab the edge of it. Okay, there we go. But I was happy when I saw the double punch come out, because I also like the double heart one from last year. And I glued the sentiment to the scallop piece, but then when I put it to the card, it will be on with dimensionals. Okay, and now for the card assembly. I glued down the DSP on an angle. Just a little something different, gives it a little different look, a little interest. And you could actually do it either way. And I cut my DSP too big. Okay, how did I ever do that? I will be right back. see if I have it the right size now. Yeah, okay. Just had to take a little bit off the end there. Okay. And then the stamped piece, I also glued down flat, but you could put it with dimensionals if you wanted to step it up a little more. Okay. And then the baker's twine, I put a little piece of tear and tape down just so that I could hold it while I put the sentiment over it. Excuse me. And just a little piece there just to grab it. Okay. And then I put dimensionals on the back. Normally I would have just put one in the middle, but I also am using it to hold down the baker's twine. So I put an extra one there. I like popping things up, adding a little dimension to the cards. Okay, and then just trim the tails down a little. And now we just have to add the enamel dots and the wink of Stella. And this is for you, Wendy. I just put a little bit in the centers of the flowers. And then on the hummingbird, I just went along a little dimensional area on him. And last week I gave him a blue eye, and this week he's going to get a green one because I put the blue there with the sentiment. And that is the front of the card finished. And now do the inside. And again, I did this just like last week's card. I just stamped the flower coming from the top, the inside. And again, it's in the Just Jade and the Magenta Madness. Just come down a little bit from the top. And I'll leave that open because we'll be using it again on the envelope. And the Magenta Madness. And then glue it flat inside the card. And the envelope. The only difference with the envelope this week from last week is, since it was smaller, I left part of the stem off, but this week, since we're using a larger envelope, I'm stamping the flower up higher. So I'm just stamping from the bottom corner up. And then filling it in. Sorry, I think I may have just gotten my hair in the camera. If I did, I apologize. And now we'll just add a little bit of Wink of Stella. And to the center of the inside. You could always add more Wink of Stella, but I just wanted a little highlight. So there we have it. Let's compare. We have last week's simple stamping, stamps, ink, paper. And then this week we have more than stamps, ink, and paper. Took it up a little notch with the DSP, the cardstock base, baker's twine, the Wink of Stella, and the punch. So everyone, let me know what you think about this week's stepped up version, and also what you think about the stamp set, the DSP, what you think about Celebration. Let me know what you've stamped this week. Let me know if you like my new nail color. Got them done yesterday. Tough decision between the blue and the turquoise, but I figured I'd get blue since the card tonight was going to be blue. Okay, everyone, thank you for joining me. As you know, I love reading your comments. I look forward to reading them. And I hope you have a crafty week, as always. And if you're in any of the area where snow is expected tomorrow, I hope you're safe and warm, and you know it's a great time to craft when you're snowed in. Okay, everyone, I will see you back here next week, which I can't believe it will be our last Celebration What's Crafting Wednesday. There are 11 days left to celebrate, so don't miss out on getting all your favorite freebies. Okay, until next week, happy crafting, everyone. Bye.